Hi, I'm Gene Cavassis. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to do a solid color on a guitar body, so stay tuned. So when working with the guitar body, there's a lot of different methods that you can use, but I'm going to show you how to do just one of many methods. With this one, you're going to use a primer, a water-based acrylic red paint, and then tru-oil as your finishing coat, and you'll have to put several coats on this. This is a jazz-based guitar kit that's made by a company called, I believe it's pronounced Amoon, and I picked this up from TomTopt. I'll put a link down below for the entire kit. In fact, I will be finishing this guitar and doing a full review on it, and I'll put a link to that as well. So the great thing that I like about painting the body with this method is, one, if you're in an area that you can't spend a lot of time outdoors, whether it's because of weather or different conditions, this is a method that has very little spraying. Now, I did spray in this, but it's a primer, and then also sprayed a water-based red. Putting the clear on, I'm going to use a product that's called tru-oil, and tru-oil can be dripped on or poured on and then rubbed into the surface. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to start sanding the body, and I'm using 220 sandpaper with a block of wood and just start block sanding with the grain. Now this guitar is in good shape, but I can use plastic wood filler if you have any gaps or nicks in this. So working the body over with the sandpaper, and this is something you're going to want to put some time into. Make sure that that body gets smoothed out, and then just using the sandpaper folded to get all the edging. I'm using a vacuum to clean up, get as much dust out of there as possible. Now I put a board on the neck to clamp it down, and using a damp cloth, I'm going to wipe any dust off of it. You could also use a tack rack. Now, using the Rust-Oleum white primer, I'm going to put a couple of coats of primer on the body. This one, if you do get a run, you can sand it off, but I didn't, so lucked out, had 2 good coats. Now, using the water-based paint, I'm going to add a little water to it to get it thinner. I'm going to be spraying this through a gravity feed small touch-up spray gun. These sell very cheaply. I'll put a link down below to probably Amazon where you can get one of these. And just spray the paint on. Take your time here and don't get crazy. Keep it fairly consistent. Now I'm spraying this paint fairly thick, but it's going to dry dead flat. So the main thing is just to get good coverage. Now here, I'm going to flip the body over and come back and start applying a second coat. And make sure that you're covering everything and get a good heavy seal to the paint. Look around it, make sure you're consistent and that you've covered everything. Okay, so now you can see we've applied a second coat of the red onto there. Now this is a water-based acrylic paint that I actually picked up at Walmart. The purpose is here, we're going to apply a third coat and level everything out, and it's dead flat so that we can come back and apply the tru-oil on top of it to start giving its gloss surface. Right now I'm really happy with how the color's looking, and we'll keep moving forward. I'm going to come back on and lay a third coat on, and this paint dries very quickly. This was all done in one night. So now, using Birchwood Casey's tru-oil, I'm going to drip it directly on the body and just start rubbing the oil into the paint on the guitar. this starts to put a gloss on, and the consistency's almost like motor oil. It's pretty easy to rub, and you've got quite a bit of time. It doesn't start getting tacky very quickly, so you can lay a coat on. Now, like I say, you're going to take your time. You just kind of do circular motions and get it rubbed in to the body and the edging the best you can into a smooth surface. And you can add the oil as you need. I usually just poke a hole in the top of the seal on the oil, so it's easy just to drip it out of the bottle directly onto the guitar. And one little bottle, I think it's a 3-ounce bottle, you could easily do 2 guitars and 2 necks with it. Now, on this particular guitar, I would come back and let this dry overnight and put another coat of tru-oil on. This particular guitar, I had about 7 coats of tru-oil on the body. So you lay that coat on both sides of it, let it dry overnight, come back. Now, a couple of these I'd let it dry overnight, do one in the morning, and then come back and do one in the evening as well. As I was getting closer to about the 5th or 6th coat, I came back with 500 grit wet dry sandpaper and gave the guitar a light sanding to make sure that any dust particles or anything like that are out of it, and taking, once again, a damp cloth, wiping any of the sanding off of it, and then I'm going to come back and apply another coat of tru-oil. This time I'm not even using a latex glove. I'm just rubbing it in with your fingers. You can wipe it back off with a little bit of mineral spirits to clean your hands. It's not a bad product, but at least with this you're feeling how well you're getting the surface down. Now I'm wet sanding with 1000 grit sandpaper, wiping it off with a damp cloth. This is my finish, so I'm just taking any little bit that might be left in the surface of this. Now I'm going to lay a simple automotive paste wax and rub that down just like you'd be waxing a car. I'm going to rub this into the body of the guitar all the way around and let it set up for a little while, getting both front, back, and the sides. And don't worry about putting some pressure on that. So once you've got your wax on, I'm going to flip that body back over to the front side, and I'm going to use some foam buffing pads, and I picked these up very cheap off of Amazon, and I'll put a link down below on these as well. And they come with a firm, several type pads, a firm pad, and their Velcro stick, and then a softer pad after that, and come back. And you can start seeing already how much of a shine you're picking up off of this. I'm really happy with the gloss I'm getting out of this. I'm repeating the exact same process I did on the other side. And here's a soft fiber buffer that comes back and helps you put that finish polish onto it. Now I'm taking just the cloth towel and doing a final just wipe around and buffing it off. And I'm really pleased with the shine that I'm getting out of this guitar. Using the simple method, there's some work, there's some time involved in laying those coats of tru-oil, but I'm happy with how the finish turned out. Now this is a jazz bass kit that I picked up from TomTopt.com, and I'll put a link to this kit in the description down below. I'll be doing a full build and review on this as well. In fact, that'll probably be the next video out, so if you'll watch for that. And please consider subscribing to the channel so that I can keep you informed on new videos coming out, and give me some feedback, maybe a thumbs up, and talk to me in the comments section down below. I'll try to get back with you as soon as possible. If you have some ideas, comments, or questions, let me know. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon.